Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Dane Clark starring in the short-run series Crime and Peter Chambers. It was the show that was brought in to fill out the run of Frank Sinatra's Rocky Fortune, which ended in March because Sinatra won the Academy Award. Anyway, Dane Clark, Crime and Peter Chambers from June 15th, 1954, and the episode about Stoney Clark.
Crime and Peter Chambers. Created by Henry Kane, transcribed and starring Dane Clark. Private investigator, duly licensed and duly sworn, Peter Chambers.
You're a private eye. That's your business. Anything else? That's for laughs. It's 5:30 in the afternoon and you're at a cocktail party on Park Avenue. Right up to now, you've been bored. But that was right up to now. Before you saw her. Now you've seen her. And she's about as beautiful as anything you've ever seen in your life. She's seated at a piano, idly doing improvisation. May I, oh, is it all right? May I sit here beside you?
Why, yes, certainly. I'd been hoping you would.
Well, now.
You're Peter Chambers, aren't you, honey? The detective type fella?
Oh, I loves that hominy grits accent.
My name's Lenore.
And I love that name.
Mr. Peter Chambers?
I just couldn't perk up enough nerve to approach you, but I did so want to talk with you.
Mr. Peter Chambers?
Oh, that's for you, isn't it?
Look when. Here, I'm Peter Chambers.
Telephone call for you, sir.
Where?
Just follow me, sir.
All right, I'll be back, Lenore. Don't go away.
I'll be waiting.
You're right this way, sir.
Thank you.
Here you are.
Thank you. Hello?
Pete? Hello, Pete?
Oh, no.
It's Louis Parker, Detective Lieutenant Parker.
Oh, can I lose you anywhere? Here I am at a Park Avenue shindig, Louis,
Yeah,
and
it's a good thing I knew where to find you. It's murder, Pete.
Well, what else when Parker of homicide is involved?
Look, one of our suspects is a kid by name of Jack March.
Jack March. I know that boy.
Yeah, he won't talk to cops. But he says he will talk to you. He'll talk to Peter Chambers only.
Well, if that's the way it is, Louis. When do you need me?
Right away. Highview Apartments on Sutton Place, apartment 16A.
Hey, very fancy. And who lives there?
The Contessa La Fresso.
Oh, that's real fancy, too. Is she there?
She's here, and she ain't here, if you know what I mean. She's dead.
All right, I'll be there.
Good boy.
Bye now. Detective Lieutenant Louis Parker. When he asks a favor, you jump. Because with you, as with everyone else, Louis Parker rates. Only with you, he rates special because you don't only respect him as a cop, you respect him as a friend. So you get to Sutton Place, the apartment of the Contessa La Fresso. Park is there. A lovely red-headed maid is there. Jack March is there, and one other guy. A tough baby by the name of Stoney Carter.
How long are you going to...
You know everybody here, Pete?
Hi, Mr. Chambers.
How are you, Jack?
I'm lousy. I think I'm in the middle of a quick frame.
Just hold it, young fella. Pete, you know Stoney Carter?
Me and the Shamus, we have met now and then.
I've always preferred the then to the now.
Oh, with the play on words.
Stoney Carter, a hoodlum from way back. An easy money guy that's always stayed inside the law. Not so young Jack March. A good kid turned wrong and then turned right again. He's done his stretch and he's been paroled, and you're one of those who made character for him. He's driving a cab last you heard. But the redhead's more attractive than both of them put together. And you're beginning to debate between the redhead and Lenore, but you stay faithful to Lenore.
Pete.
Yeah?
Notice all I've got is 3 uniformed cops here. My staff is on the way. We haven't really got started yet.
And already you've garnered 2 suspects?
Yeah. Come in here, the bedroom.
In the bedroom, Parker pulls down a sheet and shows you the Contessa La Fresso. Dead. Knifed to death. He points out a switch knife lying on the dresser. The dresser's also got 2 vases on it. One with gardenias and one with orchids. The flowers wilted and tired.
The red-headed maid came back and found her like that.
Came back from where?
Let me get the sheet back over the Contessa.
Yeah, she doesn't look very pretty now.
Okay. Denise, will you come in here, please?
Oui, monsieur.
Denise Monet, Peter Chambers.
How do you do?
How do?
Denise, would you tell Mr. Chambers just what happened?
Well, it was about 10 minutes to 5. Madame was in bed napping. I knew she had an appointment at 5, so I woke her.
An appointment with whom?
With Monsieur Stoney Clark for 5 o'clock. The other one was for 5:30.
What other one?
The other appointment.
What other appointment?
The one with Monsieur Jacques Marche.
Okay, Miss Denise, so you woke her up.
Oh, she was very tired. We only came home today from a week in the country. There was shopping to do, and she told me to go and do it, the shopping. But I say, Madame, you will have a guest shortly.
And what did she say?
She yawned and said, so you will wake me up. Leave the door unlocked.
Which is just what she does. She leaves the door unlocked and blows. She comes back at 20 after 5. She finds your friend, Jack March, standing in here. Knife is in his hand, and the Contessa, she's dead.
So quickly I call the police, and quickly the police come.
And what does Jack March do in the meantime?
He stands like, how you say it, petrified.
Hey, petrified is pretty good.
And we find him like that, knife in his hand. And, of course, he clams. The poor kid. He don't trust cops. He starts wailing for Peter Chambers. He don't trust law, but he trusts Peter Chambers.
Look, he's a good kid, Louis.
Good kid, schmood kid. He's got a knife in his hand. He's here on the scene. What does he get for that? The Purple Heart?
And that bum out there, the first appointment, the 5 o'clock guy, Stoney Carter, what about him?
Well, the minute Denise gives us the story, one of my boys picks him up at his place.
Where's his place?
Hotel Bilton. He'd hardly got there. Still had his hat on.
Okay. So, I suppose you want me to talk to the kid?
Yeah, I wish you would. For his sake.
All right. But let's sort of do it in a hurry. I've got to get back to a party.
Oh, business deal there, Pete?
Well, not exactly business.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, if you want to put it that way. Now, look, Miss Denise.
Oui, Monsieur Chambre.
Ooh, aren't you the cute one?
Oui, Monsieur Chambre.
Oh, you the niece, you. You know, if there wasn't a Lenore...
Lenore there is perhaps, but Lenore... Oh, poof, there are many. There is but one Denise.
You know, I got a small hunch you're right, honey.
Well, look, lover boy, break it up, huh? What did you want to ask?
Sorry, Louis, lost my head. Now, these flowers here, Denise, what are they?
Orchids and gardenias. A bow of the Contessa he gives them last week.
They're all wilted.
Of course. It was last week.
Oh.
And we have been away all this week.
Look, Pete, you want to talk to the kid now?
I'll talk to both of them. Stoney Carter first, if it's all right with you, Louis.
Yeah, sure. In here or out there?
Out there. Crazy French maid.
Stoney,
At your service,
tell
Lieutenant.
Mr. Chambers your tale of woe, huh?
Tale of woe. Simple.
Okay, let's hear it.
I got a date with the Contessa for 5 bells. I come. I knock. No answer. I try the door. It's open. I goes in. Finds her asleep. I wake her. We chop. But she ain't in the mood for no company. She's sleepy. So I blow the joint.
How long did you stay?
Oh, maybe 10, 15 minutes.
And then?
I get back to my hotel. And ain't there maybe a minute when wham, banging on the door. Cops. They lug me back here. That's it.
Okay, now you, Jack March. Your personal private eye is here. You want to unclam now? Or you want a personal private trip downtown?
Easy, Louie, easy, will you? Jack.
Yeah?
You trust me, don't you, kid?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chambers?
All right, tell me what happened.
Look, they'll railroad me. I've been in the can once. I don't want it. I don't want it no more. Look, Mr. Chambers, I'm driving a hack, special okay from the Hack Bureau. I'm doing it all right. Now I gotta get caught up in this.
What happened, kid?
Well, I had a date with her for 5:30.
Yeah?
I come early. Like Stoney says, the door was open. Only I don't find her asleep. I find her dead. And there's a knife on the floor. Like a dope, I picks it up, and then the maid barges in. Look, what am I going to do? Me with a shiv in my hand? Stab her and make her run for it? So I just stand there like the big dope I am, and that's it. A dead dame, a knife, and me in the middle.
You didn't kill her, did you, kid?
You think he'd tell you if he did?
Yes, Louie, I think he would.
I didn't kill her. Why should I kill her?
Pete, come over here a minute, huh?
June 15th, 1954, Crime and Peter Chambers on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medishare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medishare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medishare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it. Find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
I appreciate you so much joining us here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now more of Dane Clark in Crime and Peter Chambers from June 15th, 1954.
Parker takes you aside and thanks you. The staff will be here soon, and they'll take over on the scientific aspects. So, since there's nothing left for you to do, you tell Parker to keep you posted and that you're going back to that Park Avenue shindig, and back there you go.
Hi, Mr. Chambers.
Hi.
It's so good to see you again.
I told you I'd be back, Lenore. Lenore,
Stanhope.
Oh, beautiful girl, beautiful name. Another beautiful name happened to me just a short while ago. Denise.
Oh, honey, there are so many Denises. But there's only one little old Lenore.
You know, you two must have studied from the same book. But, Lenore, my love, I am faithful unto you. Let us go gather cocktails.
You're just the man for a criminologist to meet.
Who needs criminologists? I've got you.
Chambers. Mr. Chambers?
Uh-oh, here's that man again. All right, here I am.
A phone call, Mr. Chambers.
Thank you. What's your name?
Livingston, sir.
Lead me to it, Mr. Livingston. Lenore, once more, my apologies.
This way, Mr. Chambers.
You go to the phone, and guess who?
We've got developments, Pete.
Look, I'm working on a few developments myself, Louis.
We're booking your boy, but there have been a couple of interesting developments.
Oh, like what?
Well, that's not for phone talk. I'll wait for you if you promise to come over to the apartment, but pronto.
All right, I'll be there as fast as I can. Don't go away.
I'll be here, but do it quick, huh?
So, once more, you do the apology bit for Lenore Stanhope. You tell her you'll be back, that you'll call her even before you come back. And then you tear yourself away. And you're on your shuttle again. You're back at Sutton Place in the Contessa's apartment. And there's nobody there, not even the body. There's only Parker, a couple of cops, and Stoney Carter. Where's everybody?
Well, your boy's downtown being booked. Body's been picked up by the basket boys, and my staff has departed.
Well, there was one little bright light down here who was conspicuous by her absence, that Denise. What happened to her?
You turned on her like a refrigerator, so she kind of shined up to one of my young cops who went downtown with him.
Mm-hmm. You going to brush her up on criminology?
Mayhap, my lad, mayhap.
Well, there's always Lenore.
Lenore? Who that?
Private lieutenant. Private for the private eye. Now, what's with the developments?
Well, first we've got a little motive, finally.
Like what?
Robbery. There's a brooch missing from a drawer of that dresser in the bedroom.
The one with the flowers on it? The wilted orchids and gardenias?
Yep, top drawer. Kept the jewelry there. Insured, but the brooch is gone, and it's worth 100,000 bananas.
You mean the dame woke up while one of our two suspects was kind of helping himself to this,
Diamond brooch, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Figure she woke, squawked, got stuck.
So? Who stuck her?
We say your boy, Jack March. Fingerprints on knife, only one set, his.
What about fingerprints on the dresser drawer?
Got a smudge, which could have been a fingerprint. And then we got a fingerprint, which turns out to be Stoney Carter's.
Then why are you holding my boy?
Because, one, your boy was caught red-handed with the knife. Two, only his prints are on the knife. And three, the smudge could have been his print, only it got smudged, and that happens often enough.
And how does dear old Stoney explain his print?
Let him talk for himself, huh?
Sure, Lieutenant. I am happy to oblige.
Oh, I love these oily, obliging guys. Okay, big shot. Oblige.
It's like this. I get here. She's sleeping. She wakes up. We chat. These flowers are all wilted. The petals are all over the dresser. Dropped from these here flowers, you see? I'm a neat guy. Always been a neat guy. So, while we're chatting, I'm kind of cleaning up these petals with felt, you see? I'm shoving them into the palm of my hand. You see, I'm going to dump them down the incinerator.
All right, do it a little faster, Stoney, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, the top drawer's a little open. Some of them petals I'm cleaning up, brushing them together like. Some of them fall in there. So I pull a drawer open, take out the ones that fall in, dump the heap into the incinerator. Like that, my print maybe gets on a knob of that drawer.
Well, simple enough to be perfectly logical.
Time to go into a huddle again, Lieutenant. You and me, alone.
Yeah, sure, Pete. Come in the bedroom. It's empty now.
You holding that bird out there?
I haven't got on what to hold him. And he's wise enough to know it. He's beefing for his lawyer already.
But you're holding the kid, aren't you? A kid who's trying to straighten himself out, driving a cab.
Now, look, be sensible. We got him with the goods. Fingerprints, witness, the works.
But what about the brooch?
Well, our fast figure is he got rid of it somewhere first, and then back here, he's about to clean up on the knifing deal when the maid shows. Now, wait a minute. So he plays it dumb, you see. Stands here, he doesn't make a run for it, and he says he picks the knife up off the...
But it could be true, can it?
Only his prints are on it.
But it's possible that the knife was wiped and then he picked it up.
Oh, everything's possible, but we got a case against him. Against the Stoney, we haven't got a thing.
You going to look over his place at the Bilton?
Oh, we haven't got a right. You need a search warrant for that. We haven't got a thing to base a warrant on.
Yeah, but I don't need a warrant.
What does that mean?
The thing blew wide open fast, and you picked up Stoney at the Bilton. He'd hardly gotten into his place yet. You said yourself he had his hat still on his head.
So?
So, if maybe he did cop that brooch, it'd still be there. He just didn't have a chance to move it.
But I can't get a warrant. I got no grounds for it.
Good enough. So that's where little boy Private Eye fits in.
Where?
Listen, Louis. Hold him here for half an hour, and then let him go. Give him a 5-minute head start, and then you call on him at the Bilton. Strictly a social call.
What'll you be working on in the meantime?
Me? Be working on trying to get young Jack March out of the can. If I'm wrong, I apologize. If I'm right, a good kid gets spared a lot of grief. Bye now, Louis. So off you go on your scooter. First stop is an old friend, an elderly Greek gentleman who owns a florist shop. You have a bit of discourse on the subject of flowers, including orchids and gardenias, and you come away with some edifying results. Then at the Bilton, you learn that Stoney's place is 426, so you pace the 4th floor corridor waiting for him. There's a phone booth and you use it.
Winston residence?
Mr. Livingston, I presume?
This is Livingston, sir.
Mr. Chambers, Livingston.
Mr. Chambers? Oh, at the other end of the wire this time, sir, eh?
Oh, very funny. Would you page Lenore Stano, please?
No need to page her, sir. She's right here at this end of the wire.
Oh, you're killing me. Put her on, will you?
One moment, please. Telephone, Miss Stano.
Oh, thank you, kindly. Hello?
Lenore, this is Pete, Peter Chambers.
Oh, sweetie, I thought you'd long forgotten.
Oh, swell chance. It's just that I've been torn between what I want to do and, what I want to do.
You're not quite coherent, are you, Peter?
Later I'll be coherent, honey. Special for you, I'll be coherent when I get back.
But, honey, when will that be?
Soon, honey. Very soon now. You'll wait, won't you?
Well...
Oh, come on now. Please wait.
I will if you say so. But I'm beginning to lose patience. You're so gossamer. One moment you're here, the next moment you're gone.
Oh, I'll be back, baby, and this time I'll stay.
All right, then. We'll wait.
You hang up, you mop your brow, and then Stoney comes tearing along like there's a tailwind behind him. He gets his key in the door, he gets in, and you jump him. Oh, he catches you with a couple of wild ones, and you let fly a few wild ones on him. But then he runs into a real beautiful bouquet of knuckles. Oh. And now Stoney is real Stoney. He's also rigid, stretched out on the floor like a welcome mat.
From June 15th, 1954, Dane Clark, Crime and Peter Chambers, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion, along with another episode of Claudia, follows these important words from your favorite radio station.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Crime and Peter Chambers, starring Dane Clark, from June 15th, 1954.
You close the door and you get ready for a search, but no real search is needed. You come up with that brooch faster than a racehorse breaking from the barrier. You just pick it up out of a desk drawer where you dropped it when Parker's cops had come to pick him up. Then there's a rapping on the door.
Detective Lieutenant.
Hi.
It's me. Just dropping in for a social call.
Here's your brooch, Louis.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it'll clear you, kid. But without a search warrant, this bum will accuse you of planting it here. So will his lawyer.
Well, where would I have gotten?
From the kid. They'll say the kid slipped it to you, which they'll say is the reason the kid wanted you in the first place.
That's right. That's right. Here, help me up. You had it right, Lieutenant. A plan. It's strictly a plan.
It's not going to work, Stoney.
We'll see about that. I got lawyers.
Lieutenant, that story he gave you about how his print got on that dresser drawer. You got a statement on that?
Oh, yeah. Sworn statement.
Good, because that statement and this brooch here, together, they'll sit him in the hot seat. But good.
I told you about those flowers. I told you how I cleaned up the petals from those gardenias and those orchids. They was all wilted. You saw them yourself. Some of the petals dropped in the drawer. I took them out. That's how the print got on there.
Keep talking, pal. You're killing me. And better, you're killing yourself.
I don't get it, Pete.
You just talk to any florist, Louis, and they'll tell you.
Tell me what?
That there's a certain special feature about orchids and gardenias.
Special feature?
Neither gardenias nor orchids shed their petals regardless of age.
What, Pete?
They wither and they'll wilt. But petals, they just don't shed.
What? You're a liar.
No, I'm not, Stoney. Wait till he gets to your lawyer. He'll convince you that this is one time you talked out of turn.
That's nice work, Petey. And you, let's go. Downtown, for you special, I'll fix up your cell with petunias.
And so, breathless but determined, you're back at the cocktail party. It's begun to thin out, but Lenore is still there.
Ah, the good Mr. Chambers. We were beginning to lose hope.
What's with the we? I thought you said we over the phone, too. What is that, an editorial we? A queenly we?
Oh, no. Purely a grammatical we.
Huh?
We. Myself and my husband.
What?
You see, my husband is an amateur criminologist, and he's somewhere about drinking, of course. And when I tell him about the prize catch I have for him...
Husband?
When I tell him that you're here and a man with your wealth of experience is willing to sit around with him and discuss the various topics...
Just a minute, please.
Yes.
Did you say husband?
Yes, I said husband.
Oh, that's what I thought you said. Oh, that Denise. Oh, my aching
But, honey,
back.
child, my name's Lenore.
Yeah, I know, Lenore.
But I'd have sworn you said Denise.
I know just what I said. Well, I gotta go now. Bye.
Again?
And this time, honey child, I ain't a-coming back. But know how.
And there you've had Crime and Peter Chambers. Dane Clark was starred as Peter Chambers. Crime and Peter Chambers, transcribed, was created and written by Henry Kane. Others in the cast were Bill Zuckert, heard as Lieutenant Parker, Ralph Bell as Stoney, Donald Buke as Jack, and Anita Anton as Lenore. It was directed by Fred Way, and this is Fred Collins inviting you to tune in next week, same time, same station, for Dane Clark in Crime and Peter Chambers.
June 15th, 1954, Crime and Peter Chambers on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode of the soap opera Claudia. This episode was originally broadcast on June 15th, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the famous play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
La 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 la.
Why is Mama so happy today, do you think?
She's glad to see me go, aren't you, Mother?
Delighted. That's why I'm humming.
Mama hums, but I mourn. I hate to see you go.
Now, my humming and mourning damsel, if you'll kindly step aside to one side, I'll get into my car, and off, like a breeze through the morning glories, zip, to the station I will drive.
What if I won't? Step aside kindly,
I
please.
shall lift you up kindly, please, and put you down aside.
Sounds like fun. David, don't you dare pick her up. You'll hurt yourself.
What about hurting me?
You, it doesn't matter.
Oh, sweet.
I have my orders from headquarters, Claudia. So kindly step aside of your own volition. You're cluttering up the driveway.
For no reason I can think of, my own volition hates to see you go off to New York this morning, darling.
I hate to go, too. Just look at this place. It's beautiful. Such a nice, sunny Tuesday morning.
I wish I could think of a reason for you not to go, but I can't.
5 more minutes, and you won't have to think of a reason. You'll miss your train.
Are you wishful thinking, too? Or just warning, Mama?
Just warning.
Oh, you have no soul.
Now, Mama's right. Now, out of my way. Let me get into my car.
Listen to him. My car. It's my car, too.
All right, anything. Let me get into your car.
Our car.
Claudia's splitting possessives this morning.
She's getting to be quite a grammarian, isn't she?
I am? That's nice. What's a grammarian?
A grammarian is a first cousin to a vegetarian.
Oh, sounds awful.
Now, tonight when I come home, I'll give you a blow-by-blow description of it. Tonight,
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Goodbye.
Tell me now.
As they say in Guatemala, goodbye.
I will never talk to you again if you don't tell me now.
Good. And as they say in Gitche Gumi, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Now we're getting someplace.
I'm getting to the station. Hooray!
See you tonight.
Same time, same place. And now, as they say in Eastbrook, Connecticut, goodbye.
Why is it I've got a feeling I'm going to be lonesome for you all day today?
Probably because you're about to become a mother.
Well, I thought feelings like this were only felt months ago.
Oh, you're retarded.
And glad of it? Well, be off with you. Make your $1 million. See if I care.
I'm only going to make $1 million.
Is that all?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, tomorrow you can make another $1 million.
I'll miss you too, darling.
Well, I should hope so. Drive carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
And don't jump on or off trains or anything else moving.
No, ma'am. Now, lean in that window and...
What? David, that's the phone.
You don't say.
I do say. Well, darling, don't you even want to know who it is before you leave?
Not particularly.
But maybe it's for you.
I doubt it. Anyway, if you look down the road, you will see that I have gone.
But, darling, even if it's for me, don't you have any curiosity?
For you, none at all. No.
Oh, you're so stuffy.
Me, stuffing? Not at all. I'm just virtuous.
Hump.
Hump?
Yes, hump.
Well, what about answering the telephone?
Oh, Mama will. She's inside.
The way that you treat that mother of yours.
She loves it.
Now, get your hands off the car. You're liable to dent the fenders, Claudia. Once and for all, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, David, telephone for you.
Now aren't you glad I didn't let you go?
No. Mama, I am wet.
You am?
Such English. David, answer that phone. It'll only take you a second.
You know, this is all a plot to make me miss my train.
Of course it is. Why can't you cooperate and make it easier for me?
If I didn't know you better, I'd believe you.
All right, go on. You're not here anymore. Get.
Shall I tell him you've gone, David?
Go on, make a liar of your one and only mother-in-law.
All right, Mother, I'll answer it. But I'm doing it for you. Just for you, not for Claudia.
You bluffer, you.
Me?
Yes, you. You're just as curious as the rest of us. Who do you suppose it is at 8 in the morning?
Well, whoever it is, it's going to be short, to the point, and very sweet.
At least be polite now, polite.
It's a woman, David.
Of course. Only a woman would call a man as he's leaving for the station. Anybody knows that.
Sometimes you are so intelligent. Isn't he, Mama?
I think so.
Oh.
Hello. Yes? Yes, this is Mr. Norton speaking.
Who is it?
Yes? Yes, it's David Norton. That's right.
Who's he?
Well, look, now, I'm the only one, and I'm in a hurry. I've got to get... Oh, Western Union.
Western Union, Mom. It's a telegram.
I can hear as well as you can.
Wonder who
Yes?
would send us a telegram.
Yes, I'm listening. Go ahead.
How do you expect David to find out?
Yes? Yes, I've got that.
David, can't you at least repeat it as she goes along? I'm bursting.
Yes?
Oh, you're the most irritating man.
Yes. That's all? All right, thank you, Western Union.
David, what's it all about? Do I have to worry? Is everything all right?
No, you needn't bother to send a copy. I've got it.
Nothing's wrong with anybody, is it? Tell me.
Goodbye, Western Union.
Well?
Well? Well?
You two women, you look like pointing beagles, nose quivering and ears cocked.
I hate you.
My sentiments exactly, Claudia.
All right, I'll relent. It was from Julia and Hartley.
From Julian Hartley?
Mm-hmm.
Hartley is David's brother, Mama.
I know.
And Julia's Hartley's wife, Mom.
I know that, too, David. Go on.
Where'd they wire from? From England?
From the boat.
From the boat?
From the boat.
Oh, from the boat.
Little Miss Echo, how do you do?
Then they must be on their way home.
Exactly.
Well, when do they get here?
At noon.
Today?
Today.
Well, that was a little like pulling teeth, but now we know, Claudia.
Little boys must have their fun, Mama.
And now that everybody in the world knows what everybody else knows, I'm off to the station.
David, you can't just go off like that.
Just like what?
Hartley and Julia are docking at noon today. We've got to plan.
We've got to plan.
We've got to plan.
Plan.
Yes, little Sir Echo, how we're going to meet them.
Oh.
Are you hinting that you're going to be standing at the dock waving them in?
Of course, Hartley's your only brother, isn't he?
Darling, I don't think Julia and Hartley expect you to meet them. It's such a commotion.
And why did they send us the cable?
Just to be nice. Partly because I'm Hartley's only brother.
Then I think we ought to be nice, too, and meet them.
This is proceeding just as I expected it.
David, how would you feel if you'd been in Europe for months and you were arriving today?
I'd feel wonderful.
Well, so would I, but I'd feel twice as wonderful if I had me to greet me when I arrive.
My daughter has conceit, David.
I don't blame her.
Then, David, you agree we ought to be there?
Well, of course I'll be there, but I don't cherish the idea of you getting in all those mobs and excitement.
Oh, I won't get excited and I'll stay out of the mobs.
That I would like to see.
Honey, you coming too?
I am not.
Now, wait a minute. I haven't made up my mind yet, darling.
Well, I've made up mine. Same thing.
More conceit.
Nope. Wisdom, Mama. David says yes.
Now, you know you're not supposed to be running around all over the
who
place.
said anything about running around? I'm going to go down to New York with you, then I'll come back from New York with you, and then...
And in between.
In between, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Except Julian Hartley, and if there's time, a double feature while you're working.
Mm-hmm.
David, you just can't let your only brother be greeted by a mere customs officer. It isn't decent.
I told you I'd meet the boat.
You are not enough. It needs me, too.
What do you think, Mother?
I never think when I can help it.
I'm not a china doll.
You're worse than that. You're an incipient mother.
David, there's no reason to call me names. Just because you have no brotherly love.
Oh, but I have, darling, a great deal of it. I'll greet Hartley. I just happen to have a little more husbandly love, that's all.
Oh, darling, that was sweet. There are times, however, when it's right to sacrifice your finer emotions. This and one of them times.
Who says it am?
And just think, David, just think a ship coming in with seagulls and foghorns and Julia and Hartley. He's my closest relative after Mama and Aunt Louise and you and Shakespeare.
I'm not a relative.
Well, you're acting like one. Oh, I'd love to be there.
I never could decide what was more exciting, a sailing or an arrival.
I've only been to a sailing.
I think an arrival's better. Happier. No goodbyes when you're coming home, just smiles and bouquets.
Mama, when did you meet a boat coming into port?
Oh, it's a long story.
You never told it to me, did you?
There was a young man in khaki on the boat. He'd been away in France 2 years.
Yes, Mother?
I was almost afraid to go down to the ship. I knew I'd recognize him, no matter what the trenches had done, but I worried whether he'd know me. Then I found myself on the pier, crowds of other women round me, most of them crying. I remember wondering why. The ship sailed in, seagulls and tugboats and music and handkerchiefs waving. The rails of the decks were crowded with uniforms, and all the men looked alike from the distance. I couldn't find the right face. I wanted to run away, but the pier was too crowded, so the boat docked. And then in one moment the years rolled away. Time was nothing.
2 years without my father.
But he came home. I haven't thought of it in years. David, your train.
I've missed it. It's been nice knowing you, Mrs. Brown. Who cares about
I
a missed
care.
train?
You'll be late to the office. A fine thing for an architect. Now run along while I make up the marketing list. I don't know what got me into talking all of a sudden.
Well, darling?
David, sometimes I feel as if I didn't know Mama at all. There are whole years of her life she just carries around by herself.
She carries them well, darling.
It must be so lonesome. I can't even remember them with her. David, what are you going to do about your train?
Oh, not a thing.
Take the next one?
Nope.
You're not going to stay home all day just because you missed a silly train. I won't have it.
You won't, eh?
No. What's a day, darling? You'll be coming home tonight. Now, let's see. What train?
No train. I'm going to drive into New York.
Go on. You are?
And if I drive in alone, there are going to be an awful lot of empty seats in that car.
Oh, such a waste.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't cost any more for two people to use a car than one.
Such economy.
So, how long will it take you to get ready?
No time at all, darling. I'm practically ready now.
That means a half hour. How did I get myself into this?
You don't have to pretend you're glad you did, because this is one arrival, one ship coming in when we'll be standing side by side. One memory we can share together.
You and Mama. I'm clay in your hands. Now, get along with you.
What a lucky morning. Julia and Hartley coming home, and I don't have to say goodbye to you at the gate.
You are a spoiled child.
I know. The worst part of it is, I love it. Dum dum da dum dum, la 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 la.
Watch young people preparing to give a party. First thing on the refreshment list is always Coca-Cola. When there's plenty of Coke in the refrigerator at home, they like to ask friends in after school, after a game, or after an evening at the movies. And you like to have them do so, for the home that's full of young people is a friendly place for adults and children both.
Well, Joe, I've been took.
So you have, David. I warned you yesterday you'd be took to taking Claudia into New York.
That wife of mine and her mother, between them, a man doesn't have a chance.
Do you mind, David?
No, I don't mind. As a matter of fact, I'm very much looking forward to meeting Julia and Hartley at the boat.
Yes, it ought to be exciting. Landings always are.
If you're around, Joe, will you help me keep an eye on Claudia?
You bet I will. But one eye isn't going to be enough. It'll take several once Claudia gets on the pier and learns about customs regulations.
Customs regulations?
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought of that.
I suggest you keep Claudia away from the customs inspector. I have sort of an idea she won't like his looking through Julia's trunks.
Oh, she'll hate it. Any law is resented by my wife. Yes, I'd better keep them apart. You're absolutely right, Joe.
Well, you've got quite a job on your hands, David. Good luck on it.
Thanks, and so long.
Bye, David. As I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
Such a sweet show. Hard to believe it was considered a soap opera, isn't it? June 15th, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Just a reminder that now in the summer months, not as many big shows were on the air. So you'll hear a different selection of the types of shows that you'll be hearing here on Classic Radio Theater. Just one of those things that I like to remind you of. No big Jack Benny shows, Fred Allen shows, many of the other big shows took the summer off because, well, at that point in time, portable radio was still just a distant vagary in the future. Alrighty, first of all, we want to ask you to thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. We also hope if you enjoy this show and you miss a day on this station, you can find your shows at my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream the shows on demand. You can learn more about classic radio collecting. You can also find places where you can find our shows online apart from my webpage. You can also, if you like the show, you can use the function called Buy Me a Coffee. And I won't buy a coffee with it. I'll buy a Dr. Pepper. I mean, that's more fun. It really is. My webpage, one more time, classicradio.stream. Thank you so much for tuning in, and tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.